Reports suggest that Arsenal are eyeing a summer move for Manchester City's Joao Cancelo if Barcelona fails to secure him permanently due to financial constraints. After a loan spell at Bayern Munich, Cancelo joined Barcelona on a temporary deal for the 2023-24 season and has become a key player under coach Xavi, making 32 appearances and contributing with 4 goals and 4 assists. Despite being under contract at Man City until 2027, Cancelo's future seems uncertain as he has fallen out of favor under Pep Guardiola and expressed a desire to join Barcelona permanently. However, Barca are hesitant to meet City's £40 million asking price, preferring a loan deal instead. If Barcelona's bid falls through, Arsenal, led by Mikel Arteta, are reportedly ready to swoop in for Cancelo. Arteta, who previously worked with Cancelo at Man City, values his experience and versatility, as he can play on either flank or in midfield. Arsenal's interest in Cancelo follows their previous acquisitions from Man City, including Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Zinchenko in 2022 for over £70 million combined. Cancelo's Premier League experience and trophy-winning pedigree make him an attractive prospect for Arsenal as they look to bolster their squad for the upcoming season. With Man City open to selling Cancelo and Barcelona's financial constraints, a potential move to Arsenal could be on the cards for the Portuguese international.
In demand, Paris Saint-Germain star Kylian Mbappé says his future will be resolved before the European Championships in the summer. The France international has attracted one of the most talked about transfer sagas in history as Real Madrid and Arsenal remain linked with his services. The 25-year-old is out of contract at the Ligue 1 club in the summer and will be allowed to leave on a free transfer. Mbappé has enjoyed successful years with the Parisians after making the high-profile move from AS Monaco in 2017. His move to the Parc des Princes saw PSG win the race to sign one of Europe's most sought-after talents. Liverpool, Manchester United and Real Madrid were said to be among those looking to sign the goal-getter. Now his future appears to lie elsewhere, with speculation increasing over a possible move to Madrid. Before his last bumper deal with the club, he was said to be on the verge of penning terms with Florentino Perez's side only to extend his stay in the French capital. Rumors suggest that the Santiago Bernabéu will be Mbappé's new home for next season as Carlo Ancelotti molds the new Galacticos with Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., Federico Valverde and Rodrygo at his disposal. However, no clarity has been provided on his next move, but Mbappé revealed that he will decide before this summer's Euros.
Arsenal could look to capitalize on Nottingham Forest's financial woes by making a summer swoop for Morgan Gibbs-White, according to reports. Last week, Forest were handed a 4-point deduction after exceeding the yearly loss threshold permitted by the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. They now face the prospect of having to raise yet more funds before June 30th in order to stay within the limits for next season, and thus avoid another points penalty. Forest are therefore expected to cash in on a number of players and, according to the Daily Star, Arsenal are weighing up a move for Gibbs-White. The midfielder has been one of the club's standout performers since he made a £42.5 million switch from Wolves in 2022. Despite Forest's struggles, Gibbs-White has been a leading light and has racked up 3 goals and 5 assists in 28 Premier League appearances this season. Arsenal are said to be monitoring his availability with interest, though any move is likely to be dependent on outgoings elsewhere. The Gunners are already well stocked on midfielders, but Emile Smith-Rowe has started just twice in the league and could be sold if a suitable offer is received, opening up a space at Arsenal for Gibbs-White. However, despite Forest's financial issues, the 24-year-old will not come cheap, with the side under no pressure to accept lowball offers. According to The Telegraph, Forest will adopt a tough stance over the potential sale of their star players this summer and will demand in excess of £50 million for Gibbs-White. If I were to ask you who has been the best Premier League player so far this season, I doubt you'd mention Bukayo Saka, but the Arsenal starboy certainly is, according to Who Scored. Arsenal is once again enjoying a headline-grabbing Premier League season. They lead the Premier League table with 64 points, and rightly so, having scored the most goals, 70, while conceding the fewest, 24. Players like Gabriel Magalhaes, Declan Rice, and even William Saliba have had a tremendous season, some may argue even greater than Saka's. However, according to Who Scored, Bukayo Saka is the highest-rated Gooner, with the 22-year-old stepping up, particularly after the winter break, to help the struggling Arsenal attack find its groove. The first half of this season saw the Gunners' attack struggle, necessitating adjustments such as the signing of a striker and the benching of Martinelli and Saka, whose levels seem to have dropped. But for the second half of this season, Arsenal's attack has clicked. Saka has scored 6 goals in Arsenal's last 8 games, in which the Gunners have scored an impressive 33 goals. So far in 27 games, the Arsenal winger has 13 goals and 8 assists. There's no way you can argue he hasn't stepped up, which is why he is the Premier League's highest-rated player as per WhoScored, 7.69. WhoScored defended their selection of Saka as the highly rated Premier League star, saying, with a WhoScored rating of 7.69, Arsenal star Bukayo Saka is the Premier League's highest-rated player at this stage of the season. The England international is on track for his best season to date, with 13 goals and 8 assists to his name, after 14 and 11 respectively last term. Saka's remarkable performances have played a pivotal role in the Gunners' continued title charge, with Mikel Arteta's side top of the division on goal difference ahead of the final 10 matches. The assertion that the Arsenal star boy has had a greater impact than Erling Haaland and Heung-min Son is heartening. Hopefully, he will continue to rise, helping Arsenal win the Champions League and the Premier League, making it easy for him to be considered for top awards such as the Ballon d'Or. Arsenal look to repeat Rice's move by signing £42 million Premier League star. When Arsenal jetted off to Dubai at the beginning of the year in search of sun and relaxation, a magic potion must have been found along the way. Why? Well, the Gunners have been one of the best teams on the continent since that trip. They have scored goals by the bucket load and are unbeaten in the Premier League throughout 2024 so far. They are now top of the league, clear of Liverpool and Manchester City who they face next Sunday, and they're also into the quarter-finals of the Champions League. After a run of 3 matches across the New Year period where they'd not only failed to win but had also only scored once, that's not bad going. Key to their revival has been the likes of Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka and penalty hero David Raya. However, we think a certain Declan Rice deserves just a little more praise. Declan Rice's performance in numbers throughout 2024, Raya's marquee capture last summer sent a message throughout the rest of the league. Never in their history had Arsenal broken the £100 million barrier. In fact, until Rice arrived they hadn't broken the £72 million fee paid for Nicolas Pepe. The less said about that the better. Unlike Pepe, Rice was never destined to flop. He was always going to be a success. It's rare you can call a £105 million footballer a bargain in today's market, but that's exactly what the midfielder is. You could count criticisms of the England star on one hand, but you'll need an army to count up the superlatives thrown his way this season. In the first half of the campaign, Rice was more reserved. He acted as the deepest of midfielders in Mikel Arteta's system. He still popped up with some vital goal contributions, though, scoring late winners against Manchester United and Luton Town. It was the perfect way for the former West Ham man to endear himself to the Emirates Stadium faithful. Yet, 2024 has seen him go to an all-new level. The 25-year-old is now adding more goals and more assists to his name. He's even become somewhat of a set-piece specialist. In the first half of the campaign, Rice was involved in just 5 goals across 28 games. Yet, across the first 3 months of the new calendar year, 11 matches, the midfield sensation has been involved in 7 goals, 4 of which have been assists from dead ball situations. That's a 40% increase on his efforts in the first half of the term and a 44% increase already on his seasonal tally of 2022-23. Not bad indeed.